Very nice. So color-wise, yeah, very easy today. Yeah, sienna and umber, light, so light and dark brown for the guitar. Yeah, and I think we will start with the guitar, and then it's just some blue you have. Yeah, I think Fatolo blue. Yeah, this works the best because it's more dark. And then yes, I've used this one. Yeah, also for light fires. Yeah, just mixed with white, and then just mixed with black or Payne's gray. Yeah, so should, yeah, color-wise should be easy and then interesting to play with this all. Yeah. But then, of course, it's also the task to get all this shape and yeah, we'll try.
Notice I've got my works email address up there. I don't know why it's done that. This is a new. Yeah, let's change it, shall we? Let's just put in Jules.
Can you actually change it here? I have.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I just noticed I've got my rotary bit there as well, so I'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? It's done that.
Okay, good. Nice. All right. Yeah, shall we start with the sketch?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to try to sketch kind of all together. Yeah. So, for example, you can start maybe just placing some lines. You see, okay, maybe here will be the head. Yeah. And then, yeah, see, maybe I can go here, maybe the shoulders. Yeah. And then, so maybe it's not necessary to draw the hand completely now, but we can sketch where there's, yeah, the big, the grief of the guitar going. Yeah. Something like this, yeah. And then we can maybe see, so the hand with the circle, it's somewhere in the middle, yeah, of the page. Yeah, so we can see maybe somewhere in the middle. Okay. Yeah, so trying kind of just to fit the stuff. Yeah, so then later if like some part looks smaller, yeah, then we can correct the proportions. Yeah. Let's see. Guitar. Yeah, so I was also reading a bit about. So apparently Picasso was painting it in his blue period, when he was sad, depressed, poor, yeah. And it was also some friend of his who died, so he painted also this. And so it's also like all these blue tones, yeah, it's kind of cold. And so the warm tones of guitar, they represent the hope. That's what. So then we try to fit in the legs, yeah? Kind of just try to, yes, see how big it is. I mean, actually it's like the knee is always much bigger than we tend to paint, yes? And then we see, okay, the feet also ends almost where the guitar ends. Yeah, so. And then we can also compare like these empty spaces, yeah? For example, between guitar and the leg, yes, where we have this dress. And then you just see what kind of shape, yeah, like looks long or short, rectangular. So also like these spaces can help us to Yeah, so try also if the hand goes to do the details, try to avoid. Yeah, really just kind of, yeah. Although, for example, like it's useful, yeah, when you do this stage, still kind of start marking some shadows, yeah. So just lightly, if, let's say I do the knee, then I just mark this where this main shadow is.
I'm struggling with the guitar. Is the top bit of the guitar bigger than the bottom? I don't know. If you've got the picture, haven't we? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, let's look, Jules. Here is the original. If I don't know if it helps.
Yeah, I've just I've got my phone out. That's what's made that funny
noise.
noise.
Yeah. It's
Let's have a look. Yeah, okay. I can see it better. Oh, I'm just gonna, because mine looks like a peanut.
Yeah, you can also have like for yourself different tasks. For example, not necessarily one says, "Oh, I want to make it 1-to-1." Yes, like Picasso did. So as a task, yeah, to copy, measure, yeah, it can be, yeah. So like exercise, or one can also do. Let's say, yeah, I take this Picasso stuff as a start, but I can maybe on purpose, yeah, change some proportions or
yeah.
It depends how one feels. Yeah, so what's also useful, for example, yes, I can see, for example, this face, yeah, where the face is ending, and I can just like follow where this diagonal line is going. Yeah, and I see it goes here where the hand and the circle is. Yeah, so on my drawing, I can also, yeah, kind of then it helps me also to place the position of it. Yeah, and also, for example, we can help like the eye, yeah, and look where it's vertically, like somewhere where the elbow is. And there is the eye. Still, like the face, I find it's very simple. Yeah, one can just kind of follow this dark part and for example, in face, of course, it's a lot of small details. So you can also like compare like points. So I can see, all right, the nose, the inside part, it is somewhere also where the eye, yeah. So that helps me to position. Yeah, and so once you say, okay, I'm happy with the whole story, yeah, then you can take some time and do some details. Yes, maybe mark for the fingers. Yeah, also it's with the fingers, it's mainly marking where the shadows are. Yes. And you also look at general shape, yeah, how big it is. Yes, and you see, for example, on the hands, one shadow is like one line, the other looks a little bit like a triangle. And then like this one can create something. For example, this shoulder as well. Look vertical, it's somewhere also above the hand and the circle. And there.
So amazing how much more you see, isn't it, when you start drawing it?
Yes. It's actually very good. I mean, when you're learning to paint, it's totally acceptable to copy all the famous artworks. I mean, the ones you like and you want to learn from. Yeah, because they're exactly, and then you also study what colors, they use, what tones, and you find out, okay, how he did this. But then there is a danger that later when you go to the art gallery, you won't be already just walking and enjoying the view. You'll be always studying, like, how he
I've got a friend that's really mad about frames around pictures. So he'll go into an art gallery and go, look at that frame. You think, how about the painting?
That's funny.
We're all different.
Yes. So Eric's mom, she's my friend, and then she's married, and then her husband, he does the frames for paintings. This is his job. So we were also together in gallery, and then my friend, she was also just looking at the frames, just because kind of.
That's hilarious.
Like home business. Actually, I was I want to learn to make the frames as well. So she was inviting me also to visit her. And,
right.
So Darren, how's it going?
Yeah, I think I'm doing okay, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, and what one can also do, for example, one can do checks. Yeah, for example, I did my drawing, and then I can check some, let's say, points where they live. Yeah, according to others. Well, let's say, yes, again, this hand, then I can, draw some vertical lines and see what fits in this line, and then see if it's the same on my drawing, or check something maybe where the elbow is horizontally. Yes. For example, if the elbow it's kind of on the same level almost where the fingers are. Yes. So the fingers are really kind of going long down. Yeah. And then I can check, okay, if my fingers and the elbow are meeting, and horizontally. And it's usually always where when you see and something is itching in some part, yes, that's the one usually go and check what's going on there. Forget the neck as well. So yes, for example, so like this part on the neck, let's say, there are a lot of like dark parts, but one should also understand that these shadows, they're not just on dark spots. Yeah, they all represent the shape. Yes, that's why in the art academy they make you to draw all these hands, legs, all these nose, ears. So it's kind of this study of anatomy, because then you paint correctly, and but one can also do it kind of both. When you paint it and you look where the shadows are, then you kind of study, okay, it's shadow because the neck is turning, or there's some muscles are going, and so on. Yeah, I think he's actually not so hard. Yeah, maybe it's, yeah, but he looks very expressive.
Mine looks like a 70s dude. Bit of flower power going on there, I think.
Fine.
Maybe it's because I'm not feeling depressed or anything. Maybe that's why it's come out that way.
You make old happy guitarist.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. I'm going to change mine a little bit so that.
You can just make a long hair and make him hip.
Yeah, I'm going to put some long hair on him. I've decided now. And put some beads around his neck. There we go.
Hippie and some flower in the hair. And...
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to, yeah. Used to have the big flock wallpaper, didn't they, with the big flowers on it?
Oh. Yeah, very good, Darren. What you doing? Yeah, looking from.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with that.
Far away.
I'm done.
Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, so then we can start with browns. Yeah, also like really little. It's just the guitar and the stick. So yeah, also depending on your paper size. Yeah. And then of course the main part of the guitar is not just one color. Yeah, so it's not just let's say I'm using this raw sienna, and then there are some kind of brush strokes, yeah, lines of brown as well. Yeah, and I will put also this, so Payne's gray, yeah, or black, because then I can mix my brown with it and make it darker for. Yeah, and the usually brush size, the one that is comfortable for the size of the paper. So I will start, yeah, I will mix some brown with a bit dark, yeah, and just do one color, this long riff of guitar. Yes, in your case, Jules, maybe it can be even pink. Yeah.
It's definitely a Beatles thing, I think, now.
Yeah.
Just pleased that the guitar doesn't look like a peanut now. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then if you want, yeah, if you're sure and happy with the position of your hand, you can do this black circle. Yes. or you can leave it also for later to do for the, yeah, when the hand is done. So it's kind of, yeah, or I'll mark now a little bit. Yeah, so then later when the hand goes, I can. And this little horizontal part of the guitar, then you can take a look. It has this also light part. Yeah, there is kind of a highlight. So this line. Yeah, you can either leave some paper, just white, or then later in the end, one can add. Yeah, it's easier, of course, I think, to leave a bit of white paper, and then later when it's dry, you go with some just, so not to leave simply white, you go with some lighter color, yeah, when it's dry. I mean, instead of painting now all black, and then later, because then later you have to put some white, wait till it's dry, and then put some color. And now we can also work, you know, I have two brushes, one a bit bigger, exactly for maybe bigger some spaces, yeah, because we still have some enough moments where the big one. And then I mix, yeah, so this light or dark yellow, light brown. Yeah. And then as well, then I can put it somewhere just clean, yeah, just clean from tube with raw sienna. And then later I can go on top some brown stripes, yeah. And, or I can also, yeah, immediately mix a little bit with some brown, and some parts make, like maybe we're on the, here on the right side of the guitar, it feels a little bit more shadow. Yeah, and again, some parts can leave like clean, yeah, some really clean strokes. And then the others can go a bit more like dirty mixed. Because remember, making all, yeah, plain and nice, want to look beautiful. So like we need some clean strokes, and we need also some, yeah, shadows and mixes. Yeah, also doesn't have to be like really perfect now around the hand. Yeah, later in the end, of course, we can. Yeah, and then one can also like separate, we draw some lines, yeah. Here is one and going a bit like diagonally. And give some touch. All right. Yeah, so yeah, also not, let's try maybe not to spend much time. We can, yeah, when it's dry later on top, it's easier to do some more. Yeah, so then we can start moving to blues. And just prepare the blue, black, and white. Yeah, and we're gonna kind of use it in parallel. So we're gonna have some darker mix to go for dark parts. And the next to it, we're gonna have, yeah, some lighter mix. So we can play at the same time with both. Yeah, and then just kind of, you can even have separate brushes for it or just go quickly clean. Yeah, dry with a napkin and then change the color. Yeah, so it's, I'll mix somewhere here. Black and brown, and still black, like if you go with all this original, yeah, how it is, then the black goes a lot. Yeah, and of course here I use like really little water, and somewhere here I was on the light parts where the hands and legs are, I was using a lot of this dry brush strokes. Yeah, it's kind of when already a little paint left on the brush, and then it helped me to create this kind of half tones. Yeah, of light. So here I prepare kind of mixed black and then I can also add to it here a little bit in the end some white and yes, I've mixed blue and black, and now just on the end part or just for like leftovers that I have on my brush, I went to white, and here you go. I have like lighter mix. Yeah, because we all know you need less dark pigment, yeah, to create. And then I can even go for one lighter. Yeah, okay. In the end, I have three ones, like really light, blue grayish, yeah, something in between, and very dark. Yeah, they'll be going dry on the palette, of course. So, yeah, but since it's only one color mixing, it shouldn't be hard to, yeah. And so, well, like we can go collecting a little bit like a puzzle, yeah. So, for example, I have now the lightest one on my brush, yeah. So then I can go and do some touch-ups. Let's say for where I have the hands, yes. So I'm actually leaving, yeah, white paper at the moment. Later I'll go and, yeah, when it looks too white, but now I'm playing, yeah. And then, for example, if I see, yes, that like on the hand, yes, so there are these light shadows, but the bottom shadow is darker, yeah. So I can go and straight directly change, yeah, go into my another mix and go there with yeah. So I just took now another brush to avoid washing it. Yes, then I can quickly move to another spot. Yes. And now I also don't go like very, very detailed. Of course, I try to, yes, follow, but maybe not so tiny.
So my 70s dude is going to be cream and orange.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so I'm going to still do restricted palette. I'm not going to use any other colours.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so it's still the same colour, as in that you're staying like you are, but I'm just going 70s dude instead.
Yeah. So I did some kind of here, yeah, my first touch-ups on the hand. And then, so in the end, I find myself holding like three brushes. One I have dark, one light, maybe one, yeah, thin for changeable. And then again, I have light and okay, maybe the knee, yes. And I start playing. Yes. And here, like really works, yeah, this dry brush when maybe I don't have much paint on my brush. And then I can go with this dry brush strokes and delete them. Yeah, because if I have too much paint, then it just colors. But if I just wipe my brush with napkin, then this part with the light color. Yeah, with the dark, it's not so much, because there we kind of just color. Yeah, so now it's kind of painting, just looking at the spots. And but one should know that behind the spots there is anatomic structure that and then here the leg, I can go Yes, also, for example, if when one gets tired of, like we went to hand and leg, and at some moment you're okay, too much, then you just get rest and take, let's say, dark amount, and then I can go and color a bit here, where my where the background goes. There might be the dress. Then I also let myself rest a bit. And because then it's just kind of covering one dark color. And of course, here where the dress is, between legs and guitar, there are some combinations. So on, there is kind of dress. So. There is darker just where the guitar is touching also. So I've created, and then I can also then change and go with this medium in between. So it's also, you can also go like where you're comfortable with. So maybe it's also one can jump. For example, I did now this, the legs, then I can leave them for a while and go, make something in the face. And then leave it there and move a little bit to the background. So, and it depends. Sometimes I also put my brush into the water when I want quickly to cover more space. So then when it's, but in some moments I dry my brush, and use this brush stroke. So then maybe I say the guitar. Or one can also go and let's say mark just, for example, where the darkest background is. For example, here where the guitar, or not necessarily do it till the end of this moment. Or for example, when when it's fresh, the fill up of the brush that I have, then I usually go where, for example, like here where the, there is the contrast where it is edge. Yeah, because then I have all of paint sitting there. And then when already paint is going away, then I can move to. So, I mean, I'm also playing with this, with the amount of paint I have on my brush and accordingly where I need it. Yeah, so let's say I filled in and now I'm already kind of, there is no much left paint, and then I can go to the neck, and do maybe some of these dark strokes on the neck, and it works very nice because then just this dry brush strokes and the kind of. Yes, and then for the face, I just really go for dark parts where they live. Yeah, and then again, after doing some details, I switch for the background, to have some rest. Yeah, so not doing just this tiny stuff. Yeah, it also can you can do jumping depending on the color. Yeah, so you say, okay, now I have this mix and this thing on my brush, and okay, there is also this kind of spot. So I can go also and mark there. But I think it's like, since we're doing a copy, then we do kind of this jumping, yes, because we have already. So Picasso, he did already the choices for us where the dark parts and light parts are, and so of course, if let's say we have the guitarist, a real person sitting in front of us, and we are painting, then we have to choose. And then of course it would be kind of deciding on the main dark parts and covering them, deciding where the highlights are. So we're and where the background is, I try to do like big strokes. I get a bit more water. Yes, and then yes, with the background, I can also not necessarily do cover all at once. Can cover with some spots, then come back and do maybe a bit different tones. And top, and like this also can create something more interesting in the background. So not to have it just kind of one color, but can go but by not doing it all at one time. I kind of did, and the color is over on the brush. Okay, I just jump to another palette. And in general, I think it's also kind of maybe easier to do the dark parts first in this work. Just mark, and then in between one can go and but also, for example, try notice where there is contrast. Yes, of course, with the hands, white hand and the clothes. So there you can put kind of thick stroke of paint. It's kind of and some other parts of his clothes. That are somewhere in the middle. They're not maybe so. And then I'm going to come back and do some details, maybe on the head. And then you, of course, also correct the head with the background itself. One maybe can first notice some darkest Parrots on the face, and then this middle tone. So there is, of course, under the nose, the mouth, ear. Yes, these are the dark. Then again, I wipe my brush to have it dry, and then can also work. And there is also dark. So this face bone. And also you can, so if you do some details in the face, at the same time, then you can go and do this background around the head, and it will help you to kind of, have it more together than the shape. And I keep on playing, so I've put some paint background, and when my brush is empty, then before going back and filling it up, I use these brush strokes for some details on the face. Yes, and even if the face looks kind of white, yes, still there is there are just maybe some parts that are left like white, and the others still have to be with some with some light blue tone. And then again, if tired, I go back to background. Switching from tiny. Yeah, so if you have any questions, troubles, yeah, feel free to send. You know it. Yeah, because maybe today's this work is hard. I imagine you do it a bit differently. Of course, not painting in the sequence I do. So. Yeah, also like fingers on the legs. It doesn't have to be very precisely. Yeah, even just some kind of guessing. Yeah, so we're leaving some light parts. Yeah, with the background, we do this shape. I mean, it's even in Picasso's original work, it looks more detailed. Yeah, but in our case, of course, we do just yeah, but when I'm doing this leg, I'm still trying to guess yeah, this shadow shape, because then it will help to look. Yeah, and again, I'm not leaving them completely white, the spots. Yeah, so at the moment I have my brush dry, then I do some lightly touch up there, so then it's inside the background we also have differences. Yeah, so notice, yeah, to make it also maybe more interesting. All right. Yes, and one can come back to some parts, like if you did some parts on leg, you left it, and yes, I think still it's kind of tiring, you know, the work, because it requires lots of attention. Jules, tell me how it's going, because I'm worried a bit. Maybe Darren.
It's going okay at the moment.
All right.
Just trying to do a few touch-ups there. So
I've done it in the style of Picasso, but 70s dude is what I've done is I've put I've kept it like you've done with a restricted palette, but I've done it in oranges and cream. So it's still the same, you know, colorway through it.
Yeah.
But what I've done is, because I start losing the edges of it, so I've used pen to do the outer edges of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? But he's all right, actually. I thought I lost him, actually, at one point, but now I've got him back.
I know what you mean, Jules, because I thought back when status bar, I thought, oh, it's not gone quite right, but
yeah, I lost. I just thought, my God, I don't know what I've done now, but now it's come back.
Interesting. Wow, the whole process.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about being tiring, though, because you're trying to, because you're not using many colors. You're trying to show that picture, you know, the depth of the picture without using different colors, and that's not easy, is it?
Yeah. For me, it's also tiring because, you know, all these body parts. Yeah, and one tries to be there maybe more precise, more detailed. Yeah, I mean, it's easier to do maybe tree. Yeah, it's just do the bushes and. But yeah, you're right. Also, this restriction.
Say hello. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here.
Sending you what I'm on for a minute.
So Darren, let's see. Ah, you send it.
I don't know if I need to make the legs a bit darker, perhaps.
Let me. Wow, not bad at all. Huh? Yes, yes, yes.
Wow, it's so cool.
Huh? Hmm. Yeah, you got also all right.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty, really cool, Darren.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Good to share. That's in mine then.
yeah.
I
So
haven't taken off
for
the
example,
stuff yet.
the only maybe the one could work on these backgrounds here below. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel maybe just use too much water. So if it's
Yeah.
already dry, you can do just the second layer, and they will become also dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe in this case, like the legs will pop up.
Yeah.
I mean, just general, because then it creates all this dark feeling. But yeah, only if one wants this. Ooh, and jewels. Oh my God. Look at that, Darren. Look at that.
Yeah, well, I don't feel depressed at the moment.
but
it's still in the Picasso style. It's just yeah, I found that really challenging trying to do it just in the cream and the orange.
Yeah.
Because you're trying I started you think, oh, I could do with a bit. No. Trying to find it, you think, I want to use another color.
I think it's perfect. It looks just so awesome.
Yeah. 70s dude.
I like that.
Even got a necklace. Look at that.
Yeah, and he's got a bracelet.
Love it. Love it.
But yeah, I'm gonna let that dry
you're
and then
true
take off. We'll try and take off the border.
I actually won't even touch on the even music notes. Oh.
Yeah, got music notes on there.
Yeah, and you're totally right with the pen.
Yeah, because I was losing him. I couldn't see him, and I was like, oh no.
No, very nice. Oh, that's a true artwork. Amazing.
But it's in Picasso style. It's still, yeah, you can still see that it's in there, can't you? It's
yeah. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it a lot. Yeah. I'm
just taking off the sticky.
Imagine, if we do some other famous artworks, then Jules will modify them. All of them.
And why not? Why not?
Yeah, well, the thing is, you don't know what he'd be doing now, would you, really? He might be doing something totally different now.
Exactly, yeah.
He was still alive.
Yeah, he was changing a lot. So.
Yeah, I mean, he was quite, changing. I always remember his wife said that she knew he was having an affair because the colours would change in his painting. That cracked me up. Now, I went to Picasso's museum in the south of France years ago, and it wasn't until I went there I realised when they say white light, it really is white light where it's in this country, it's very pinky or sort of off colour, isn't it? And then being in the south of France, like, oh, I see what you mean. It's really clear white light. It's lovely.
Wow.
You can see why you're so inspired. I love Picasso. Yeah, I've just I've taken off the background.
No, very impressive, Jules. Yeah.
Well, Darren, yours is amazing, as in a copy of it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Thank you. I do like yours. I love the colours in yours, Jules. I love that.
Yeah, and he has your one, he's all elastic. He has this, the Picasso, he's more like broken. Yeah, he has these sharp edges. Your one, he's plastic. He has this plasticity of movement.
Let me just
very cool.
Just taking the thing off there. There you are. You got the whole thing now.
Yeah.
It's better.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch anymore because I'm going to end up ruining it. I was going to put some more background in, but I'm not.
No. No more touching.
No.
Perfect.
It's knowing when to stop.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like it that we're looking at famous artists. That's really good. Yeah,
we can do something else.
Yeah, that'd be good another time.
You told me like Van Gogh, I think it's also easy to work with, because
the thing is, so there's stuff in there you didn't see. I mean, the thing is, when you start looking at that, I never saw where his legs are crossed. I never saw that. I've looked at that painting before, never seen that. But because you're painting it, you actually see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to study art, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when I was always in London, then they take kids to the National Museum. So when you're there, and you always see a group of kids, they're sitting and painting. Some of the paintings, and I think that's the best way. Then you remember.
Well, when I was at school, they did exactly that. I think we did Monet's Water Lilies.
Yeah.
Nice. Colours in that.
That's an idea. No, that's an idea.
It is an idea.
Because water lilies are always cool. Yeah, but the next time I'm also experimenting.
Well, if you want any more animal photographs, Mel treated me for my birthday this week. We went up to this West Country Wildlife Centre.
Birthday.
I've managed to get up close to foxes, badgers, wildcats, owls. So I've got some fantastic photographs there.
Yeah. You need to share them.
I will do that, Jules. I will do that later on.
Do you want to see my niece? She's got a tortoise, and she said to me 6 months ago, "Oh, can you paint me a picture?" And I went, "Nah," like that. And then I thought, I'm going to do it for Christmas. But this is his.
Oh wow! Yes. Love it.
So that's Leo. You saw it, didn't you? That's Leo.
But he looks very good. Oh.
So yeah, I thought, how do you do a tortoise? But it's come out all right, actually. It's not until you start doing it, if it's going to work or not. But,
I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. That was
wow!
No,
look at that.
Oh, Darren.
And one of my favourite ones.
Oh my God!
Like how you catch them? Amazing.
The great thing was at this place, you went around with the feeders. So basically, and we did a lot of photographic groups for it. On Monday, it was just me and Mel. Spent a bit more time there, but the animals got so used to the feeders coming around, having photographers around with them. They pretty much ignore the photographers, so you can get really close to them. It's like that fox literally was right by my feet at one stage.
No way.
Yeah. And the badgers, one of the badgers they don't like you to touch, but the other two, they're literally climbing on you at one stage if they thought you had food. You think, these are wild animals sort of thing. It's like in a wild, they'll tear you to shreds. But
oh, amazing! I say photography-wise, that's incredible.
But I've got about 100 photographs that I was really happy with. I won't bore you with all 100 of them, but unless you go on my Facebook page. But I'll put a few selected ones up later on.
That'd be really, really good.
Definitely.
And I also got the green ring-necked parrots in our village the other day, so not quite colourful as some of the